Okay. What's up, everybody? So not a whole lot doing today. Gonna work on the Autumn a little bit in the creation kit. Trying to build some stuff together. Talk about plans for the demo, plans for the beta for the Autumn, as well as future betas and things like that for early mod releases and things. Timeline updates, stuff like that. And then maybe after we get through some of that stuff, some games to wrap it all up. We'll see. Let's go ahead and do that. So make this cell view a little bit bigger here. This is gonna give Michael a heart attack. He always hates how I have it oriented, like a madman. Let me zoom out here a little bit. So, as you can tell, with the 10,000 hours it takes to move around in this view, with all the lighting, the correct lighting stuff enabled, this is how it looks like so far. I want to try and fix the decal stuff. I'll probably end up removing those, but just for now. This is how she's looking. Paneling looks nice. Again, the decals are floating off, but I found out that they do that on the vanilla Pillar of Autumn model anyway, so I have to snap them to that surface, which I don't remember how to do, but I know there's a way to do it in Blender. So I can contour all the decals, but I'll have to do it by hand, as far as I know, so that'll be a little arduous and time consuming, but other than that, looking good. Gotta wake up. And then let's see, there's a giant hole right here, as you can tell, because I need to plug in the bridge here in the pack-in for the Pillar of Autumn, just so that I can see where it fits and to see where I have to move the plug for this all to work. I need to make some snap points so it snaps to the roof, the bridge, and then I need to build out the inside. Just a basic. I'm going to use vanilla habs for now, just to get it operational and running smooth for testing purposes. So yeah, let's go ahead and... Where's the bridge? I need to... because I only have the interior right now, and I need to figure out how to do the exterior. I thought I had that set up correctly, but apparently I don't, which is fun. Let's see here. Let's just drag and drop this in right here. C is the one we need. to say it's to right about here. Just behind this window is where I have it set up by default. I'm trying to remember where I have it on the bridge for the exterior. It might be right here, but let's go ahead and is there like a positional coordinates I can modify? Yeah, here we go. Should be good. Yep. And then let's might be a little bit further out now that I'm thinking about it. Let me open up Blender and look at the model I have in there real quick. I exported the bridge and did all that fun stuff. Let's look at this. Let's see how I have it. Okay, yep, bridge is still separate. Yeah, no, it's pretty close up in there. It's a good bit of ways away. Okay, so let's move you a tad bit in this direction. Yeah, I'd say that's about on point. And then the exterior of the bridge should fit nice and snug in there. Put a plug in right there. Okay. Let's see here. Let's get rid of the bridge now. back on it, I probably should have slid a basic interior right in here just to make some snap points a little bit easier. But I left it all kind of blank. Starting to see that may have been a mistake. But anyway, once this all gets finished, finalized, and set up, all I have to do is finish the bridge stuff, get that snug fit in there and set up, add the snap points. If we zoom out here, Lord, I love working with the creation kit when I'm moving around models. It's not necessarily the creation kit's fault. I mean, we're working with a 1.2 some odd kilometer long ship, so gotta cut it some slack. It's not used to things of this size. I'm going to make, I believe I have it set up where this one will be the airlock, this one on the left here. Port side, it should be. And then we'll set a basic interior up, linking the bridge. Good Lord, if we could just get over here. Okay, so we're going to do some basic stuff. Bridge, some habs right up in here, maybe a couple extra levels, not too much. And then we will separate the link between the docker, the actual docker, and then the hab for the docker. Same thing with the landing bay. Just to see the nightmare that begets. But of course in the final product there's going to be no intended landed bay. I'm going to try to find some workarounds for that so that this ship will not be landable on planet side, because 1.5 kilometers of ship landing on planet side will be a nightmare, both for your frames and for gameplay. It's just not going to be a fun experience. And then let's see, landing gear. I'll add some basic invisible landing gear somewhere on the bottom here. Again, just to get it all out there and working and all that. I'd like to attach some some like reverse thrusters, maneuvering thrusters on some of these portions here. So we'll see about that. It'll have probably a basic, Class M jump drive, reactor, and then no shields, obviously. The shields is another thing I'm looking at doing some different things for, like a module that will add like temporary armor points or some extra armor onto your ship to boost the health. Not too sure about how all that'll work. Like once the armor wears down, it'll have to be repaired or replaced. One second. But beyond that, you know, I don't know. Let's see. The engines. I don't know if I've talked about this in a previous video or not. The engines. If I can get around over here. Yeah. Had to make a custom effects for the engines, thanks to my good friend Silent, another modder. Because this right here, which is the smallest of all these engines, is the maximum size you can make an effects on its own by default. So we had to go and we had to pull the max size out, expand the effects itself in, I think he did it in either Blender or 3DS or NifScope or something like that. I think NifScope, and then re-export that as a brand new, even larger effects, and that's what you see here, and that's what you see on the Autumn's two main engines. This is like 30 or 50 times the size of the vanilla. I mean, these are M-class engine effects, and that's the biggest you can make them, and I think it's 20 times the size, if I'm not mistaken. It's something like that. But much, much bigger here, as you can tell. I'm not sure if I'm going to put smaller engine effects on here, if that's overkill, because it's a lot of effects, which would in turn affect your frame rate. So I might just leave those alone, maybe give them like a glow, I don't know. Might just leave them as is, because you're not really going to notice it too much. I mean, they're giant engines and all these smaller engines. And then, let's see. The hangars, I don't know about yet, because a bunch of people are still trying to figure out how to get things like that to function. In terms of, like, spawning, you know, additional ships like small fighter craft or something to come out of these, I think that will be easily doable. I mean, relatively easily doable. It'll be some scripting and stuff that some other people will help me out with. Figure out how to do that to where it's like a weapon or something, or some sort of button you activate, not sure, and then it'll spawn craft that will fly out of here, and then you can get some long swords or some basilards, for those of you familiar with other fighter craft in Halo, or some Nandows, and then the Cascara, whatever that thing's called, eventually. Although probably not for the Autumn class, you know, we'll see. Or the Halcyon class, rather, not the Autumn class, because that's post-war. Propaganda. Let's see here. Basic interior, landing gear, landing pad, or landing bay rather, loading bay, docking bay, bridge. I'm trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything. The weapons, which you don't see on here right now, will be added in with their own snap points at specific positions, like you'll see. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. So all these, so the Mac gun will obviously be a weapon. Very long reload time, very high damage, direct fire only. Obviously the Mac gun can't exactly turn or rotate. Yes, baby boy. Hello, hi. My cat. The turrets will all be one weapon. With... Hello. Yes, my chair is not a scratching post, Artemis. No, sir. And then the missiles, of course, will all be one weapon. The turrets, relatively quick reload time, probably like a medium fire rate, medium damage, or maybe light damage, probably light damage. And then missiles, you know, decent reload time, decent damage. I would say probably medium damage, medium reload time. You know, numbers to be determined, obviously. But those will all fire out. So that's how it's all going to be set up. We can go ahead and close out of here. But they'll be given their own snap points. As in terms of functionality for the missiles, I know someone else has a mod that gives you like dumbfire missiles or something like that. So I'm going to look into those kinds of functionalities and how that stuff works out. Let's see, no shields, bridge, landing gear, docker, landing bay, fuel. Fuel won't be like a... I'll just throw like a giant M-class fuel pod in here somewhere and snap it onto stuff. I'll give it some regular snap points, or get an M-class hab that's got, you know, dual functionality snap points, either or. So fuel, engines already talked about. Let's see here. Habs, I'll probably do something basic, you know, besides the bridge. We'll do, you know, some living quarters, some an engineering bay, some functionality stuff, just a few things so you can throw your whole crew in here, have a decent size of people in there. Transport, cargo space, that's another thing. Cargo space will be another M-class hab that I throw in here somewhere for now. And it'll likely be fairly similar when we move to the final push. I don't think I'll do a custom model for the fuel and the cargo on here, only because I don't think there'll be a need for that. They'll be internal, and I might even be able to give the cargo value to either like the hull, like the engines, or some other habs, things like of that nature. So I won't even need to add a cargo hab on here on its own. I think that's it. I'm trying to think of other things that are required on the ship, but I can't think of anything. Let's see here. So the demo is going to be a small, simple quest where you get a mission to go to a location, and it's this ship, the Pillar of Autumn, is under attack. It's being overrun by a mysterious new enemy, and new allies are asking for your help. And so you'll dock with the ship, you'll board it, in which you will fight alongside some UNSC Marines. And it's looking like the armor, based on the poll from the Discord, is going to be the Halo Wars and Halo 2 Anniversary style Marine armor, which is my personal favorite, and not the classic CE style armor. Although, for the final run, I'm probably going to give any Marines stationed on the Pillar of Autumn that style of Marine armor, and then most other standard Marines are going to have the Halo Wars and Halo 2 Anniversary style armor. Armor in the Age of Reclamation is going to be split up pretty variedly. Like, there's going to be a lot of variety, I should say, rather. There'll be special forces within the Marines, the UNSC Army, rather, the Navy, the Air Force, different groups, smaller factions, rebels, obviously, lots of different insurrectionist factions with their own slightly unique variations of armor, depending on who they are. And anyway, you will be helping out some Marines take back the Pillar of Autumn from the Covenant! Ah, the huge reveal that no one saw coming. It'll just be elites and grunts, probably, for the demo. If I can figure out, like, jackals and some other things like that, I may include those, but I don't want things to look too clunky right now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, soon we'll, oh, Clementine, I know. My dog freaks out anytime she hears, like, knocking or anything like that. So, silently knock on the wood, softer. Clementine, you can do nothing. You are exactly 5 pounds. You weigh less than my son when he was born. Huh? Oh, 7 pounds. Yeah, that's still less than Charles when he was born. But hopefully we'll get animation stuff from Bethesda at some point in the near future and not 5 years from now. That would be great. I didn't mod any other previous Bethesda game, or really any game before this. Or rather, I did not make mods for any previous game. So I don't know the timeline of events of when we got some of those tools, when they were released, and we were able to make new animations for games like Fallout and Skyrim and all that, and the time distances between those events. But I know a lot of people are asking for it, and a lot of people need it, and myself especially. Custom animation tools would be a huge boon to make custom new skeletons for things. Brand new animations will help with weapons and NPCs and events. But anyway, what can I do right now? I think what I'm going to end up having to do, just to make this a little easier, is I'm going to have to go remake this, or re-export it from 3DS, and make a little interior space right here, and then affix new faces to it. Just right here, so it's easy to snap things onto it, and gauge things. And then I need to fix the bridge interior. It's supposed to be linked to the exterior, and I don't know where that's supposed to show up, because that's just the pack-in, and I don't need the pack-in, I need the bridge. And so far as I know, this is it. But it's supposed to be linked, and I don't remember how to do that. let's see, can I... Oh wow, that is quite ugly to look at. Whoa! That's not supposed to do that! Although I can see why it's bugged now. Yeah, you are super messed up. What the heck happened? I don't know. I'll have to figure out why that's all bugged. I'll go ahead and delete that. And I'm gonna save. I need to fix the naming on these and get rid of the AOR part. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna have to refresh to do that. Trying to get this sorted here. This takes forever. Don't need any of that stuff. Yeah, so why is there... Is this the... Let's open... So this would be the exterior. Okay, that's what I thought. so that's the same thing. Let's change this up. I want the exterior. No. Let's see if we can't add in. No, what? No, that's the interior. This is supposed to be different. Hold on. Gosh, why does it look so weird? Definitely gonna have to fix this up again, because this did not go over the way I wanted it to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix the shading on this, because this is super bugged. Awesome. Well, that's not great. I'm gonna have to figure out why. I have to figure out why this is doing this. So let's make that the interior again. Yeah, that's better. Okay. That's taken care of. Why don't we... try and make a new... Oh, actually, I know. You just do that. All objects. So that uses the S-Mod cockpit Deimos DS31 Ares. Now what's the difference here? Right, you look like that. This has something else. Deimos C1 interior. So what are you? That's the model change. Okay, so... So that uses that instead of... whatever that symbol is. Let's go back. Let's see what happens if I just do this. If I copy this. No, let's cancel that. We'll call this interior. Really need to go through and shelve all that out. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work. Damn. Whatever. It's in there. I'll get it replaced. We're gonna do some. How's the ship coming along? You know, very sloppily, Michael. Just figured out what was wrong with my interior exterior thing is that I didn't have them separated. I was only using one SMod for my pack-ins, and I needed two of them, one for the exterior, one for the interior. And so this is my exterior model, which is my interior model, as you can clearly tell. Which I need to go in and figure out why these are glitching still. Need to remove this back black panel, I think, maybe, or bring these out slightly more, I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably gonna stop the stream here for a little bit. We can do gaming next stream. Um, so other than that, it bugging out. The Autumn herself, outside of the bridge issues, uh, you know, it's let's. It's looking very nice. Well, that part looks weird, but let's. Well, I need to dedoy. I have to zoom out so much. The problem is if I change it to where I zoom out and move around faster, then when I need to get in close to place some things and edit some stuff, it's just going to look super weird. I'm glad the Dockers don't actually look super crazy, because when I didn't have the lighting enabled, or that, it looks super weird either way, and I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, and otherwise it looks like that, which I know it doesn't look like that, but for some reason, when with all this stuff disabled. But with it all enabled, looks fine. Looks good. You can see all the detailing correctly. The only issue is the decals right now, which I'm going to go back and fix later on. But right now, I'm just trying to get her functional and figured out what I have to do. I have to go in here and I'm going to build a simple set of interior walls right here just to slide the bridge in, and so I can place snap points easier and see where it all fits and where it all goes. But anyway, so that's how the autumn's coming along. Just a few more things to get fixed and finalized, and then hopefully she'll fly as this long-awaited ship makes to port. We'll see what kind of road bumps we run into. Anyway, I think that'll be all for stream tonight, peoples. So please, all the good stuff, if you don't mind me shilling here in the last 5 seconds. Like, subscribe, share my content, please, if you like the project. And if you'd like to support me, links are in the description below. Join the Discord. I give early reveals on my Patreon. Just all that good stuff. So, thank you very much. And I will catch you all guys next stream.